What's going on, boys? It's Flaws. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at MOUZ versus Vitality on the last map that they just played in the opening grand final. I think it's a good one just to kind of go over like what was done right, what could have been done better. We're just going to break down the match and just kind of how it played out and why it played out that way. So starting off, they go for an aggressive Ivy take. Gets shut down a little bit here. They have 3 CTs to kind of hold off on that. I wonder if that was just a bad read or if they kind of counter-stratted that. But they're going to lose bomb here. They still are going to try to get out through that smoke, and they do actually end up getting a little bit back in that round, but as you can see, they kind of counter-stratted on the CT side and played really heavy towards the A site there. Skip forward a little bit. Just to kind of show what they do at the start here, they molly decon at the start. They're pushing in towards Pup Dog, just making sure that they can't do a fast take towards B without it being intercepted here. Once they do that pretty standard setup here, he's going to smoke it off. They're just going to hold. Kind of just playing over those like longer range battles in those engagements. They go for a nice kind of boost there. Nothing really to be said in this round. They do a good job of just kind of shutting it down before it starts on the CT side. Just kind of picking them off as it goes here. Pulls that off angle. A little bit too aggressive without a teammate there, but that's fine. Oh, he does have someone right there. Okay, it makes sense. I'm just going to close that one out. Getting into the next one here. This is the first full buy, so let's kind of break this down. What happens at the start here? Not a lot of nades on the T side. Going for a standard smoke to counter that molly out at the start. They get out towards A. A little bit set up. They're actually... Oh, Brolin goes through the smoke there. That's interesting. Catches them off guard. Big pick to start off the round. Still pretty close right now. Roland goes for an aggressive peek towards Pup Dog, knowing that they have AKs and he has an MP9. Not the greatest play. I think probably could have used some utility with his team to peek in somewhere else, but nevertheless, he probably felt like he was getting time crunched with the smoke fading towards T-Con. So here they're trying to stack B. They think they're going to end there on the CT side. Okay, now they know it's going to be A. Gets mollied out. Gets one, gets a lot of damage off of to the second one on Zaiwu. See, I would group up here on the CT side and just try to play somewhere together. That way you can actually work off of each other and trade it, like, kills off. And it looks like that they're kind of doing that now. They're at least working through the same spot. Pretty good setup on the T side. Everything's being covered. Messi makes a little bit of noise there. They're not giving away any free peeks for the CT side, which is like pretty common. People will just kind of peek into them. They're doing a really good job of just kind of keeping these AKs up because they don't have a lot of money here. Messi goes down, but they still secure the round. A decent buy round, pretty like close there, but ends up taking it on the T side. Going for some aggressive play towards Pup Dog at the start. That worked for them last round. It seems like they're putting a lot of pressure towards T-Con early. Great flash. You go for a double peek. It gets traded back out though by Rops. See, that's why having 2 in Pup Dog, it's so hard to clear them out and actually like make sure that they can't hit the A site. Even Torres right here, he's kind of caught out. Can't really run back to site safely, like not knowing if the T's are going to peek out. Rops finds a really, really nice lurk here. Here's one rotating back in. But he's going to find a timing on him. They're going to go B probably off of that. This is where nades become a problem though. Yeah. You kind of almost have to take like a unexpected fight. Apex just kind of holding for the rotates, trying to find where that second player is. He doesn't know that he rotated through spawn. They send a low HP player to look for info. Okay, now that they know where he is, he doesn't really have to peek by himself. He's waiting for his teammate to come out. Peeks out, and he's going to get that kill there. Close out the round. Well done on the CT side. They're putting a lot of pressure towards A early. Even giving the bomb site there obviously didn't really work out for a little bit, but Ended up closing out the round anyway. Flames goes for that smoke early on to cancel out that molly. They're putting heavy nades towards B, making sure the CTs can't just run right up. Up dog, they're gonna try to like take that close range duel if anyone's in there. They did actually force out here, probably expecting the CTs to be on a light buy or like a lower buy with util, which doesn't seem to be too much of a problem. But they're gonna work this A site again. Wow, they get great picks to start. It's probably gonna be the round just through that. The CTs actually played that well by playing far back with those rifles, but unfortunately they did force out rifles on the T side as well and just kind of found those duels, especially like with the numbers coming out. No one was really playing off of like a double angle. It was kind of just a bunch of people holding like different solo angles for the T's to swing out into. They're gonna lose that round. What happened there early? Let me see. I think that was actually at the end. Okay, they go for that smoke, swing out, fight C box. Actually gets taken out by them grouping up with pistols. Robs tries to get some info towards B. They're just gonna work towards B, get out on site. Roland should give that AK over to someone with more health. See if he does. They might even just try to lock him in here and try to keep him contained and have him dead a bomb. Let's see. Oh, wait a sec. Great angle for Spinks there. They turned that around really fast. Okay, let's see what went wrong here. So this is okay. I was playing a longer angle to see if anyone is coming back through spawn. I almost wish someone was also pushed up to like oil here that could kind of swing out and trade this out. The problem here is if anyone's peeking back a site, ZywOo should win this fight, right? Like that's the problem that happens here. He loses this fight, and now he can't really control where he's peeking out into. Robs knows that he has to get this kill. It kind of favors exertion because he has an SMG. I almost would rather have Robs be playing with ZywOo on site. He can control his fights a little bit more, and he's not really forced into a duel with an SMG. But they still like won really good aim duels there on the CT side, so not the worst. Post plants, right there, like that's a crazy shot, regardless. And Torzi gets that one on. So there was one oil, okay. You know, sometimes that just happens in the rounds. Unlucky. Skip forward a little bit here. Timeout, they're talking about it. What happened there? They're getting good map control out of A, like super early on. They're not losing a ton of health for it. Obviously right there, that nade kind of chunked Flames, but I mean, we're giving him the kill right back, so it's well worth it at the end of the day. Up dog, he's probably gonna get naded and mollied out here, I'd imagine. No, it just goes for an aim duel. Okay. Ends up losing that one. See, that's the problem if you like lose one on A. There's so many angles that are just kind of... Everyone needs to stay up and at least get like some damage or a kill, or just be like unkillable as you're playing the back of the site, because otherwise you just know that you can basically take the entire site for free once you get one pick here. And they're going to close out that round. Hopping into the next one here. We have a force on the CT side. Super close game still. We're going to go for that standard stuff towards B. Mollies, nades. No one in T-Con this round, which is interesting. So it's like very standard stuff that they're doing. Obviously on the CT side, they went and actually put some more pressure towards A, like towards the T-Con, but it's not going to really pan out this round because they're going for a fast B take, which is a great read by the T's. Like, okay, that round we just basically won by sprinting out. They're probably going to play a little bit heavier towards the A site here. Let's go B. Like, great response. Go back actually to when they're taking the site here. Really good heads up molly. Unfortunately, a little bit late, so Flames actually gets taken out because he's peeking too early. But he was trying to get close to Z so he could actually take that fight little bit closer up there. They're just delaying. They have enough util here to kind of hold this retake, make it awkward for them. They'd love to get close up here, which is, it's fine, but if like the CTs are, I don't know, if they start to get picks back into the site and you can't really trade that person back out, it's just an awkward gunfight, right? Like, you're not taking that long duel, you're taking a super close-up duel. If anyone has an SMG pistol, they can kind of swing on you quickly, but it does like cut off the site and the rotates from the A site there. Nothing really here. They're hunting down those people because they have enough money. CT side doesn't have a lot of money here. Should get 4Z, yep. So well done. Good like reaction there for the T side to actually switch over to the B site and do a fast hit while the CTs are taking A control. Get forward a little bit here. Flame's going for a molly towards Pup Dog. Just putting some presence early on. Drops is working solo. It's fine. It does get caught out actually, and they should recover that. Apex goes from Ivy because he saw a lot of contact towards the front of A. Opens up the site and they're going to take it. Skip that round. So I like what they're doing here, right? They're seeing, okay, we have a problem that they can kind of take A as much as they want. We're going to put a little more pressure towards it this round. They throw mollies, they throw smokes, they throw nades. They're not really pushing through and like completely taking 1v1 fights, right? They're playing close, making it awkward for the T's to get out, using all their utility, and having it be like a difficult space for the T's to take early. They kind of have to respect those nades now. They didn't really this round, but it kind of cost them. So let's see how they kind of played out later in the round. Being in the back of the site's really difficult here with an op, because it's not really a great spot to be because you don't know where the T's can be coming into the site. There's so many different angles. This is an insane read by them to go towards B. I don't know if they heard a footstep or what, but it's a great play. Push towards CT together. We're going to work this. And we have vision of the bomb afterwards. Sphinx was aware of that and actually catches him out. Apex in a really tough spot because I think he got spotted as well. Pushing through, here's the bomb, got tapped, I think. Exertion playing a little bit of an off angle there. Easy to close that one out. So good response by the CTs. Also like kind of a mind game that the T's went over towards the B site. Putting more pressure towards A early is working for them though, so I'm assuming they're going to keep doing that for the rest of the half. Going for an Ivy play. This is interesting because they haven't really gone with too many people towards Ivy. But they have been throwing a lurk smoke earlier on in the half, so let's see if they throw that here. Okay, smoke it out. Only show that there's one there, spam a little bit. Wow, waits out the smoke. Great play by Apex to kind of be aware that he likes to nade that. He tucks in the corner. That's a huge pick. That's their up or down. This person on site is basically out in the open, has to worry about a bunch of angles all at once. As you can see, kind of gets awkward for him, and they're going to open up onto the A site. Right there, they know that there's two on B. They should be fully aware that they can get the bomb down, get set up, and start to work back into this round. Not sure if they're coming from Z or from Pup Dog or T-Con, but they're going to post up together here, it looks like. Two pushing back towards Ivy, or Hell, and one going towards Z. That person pushing towards Z was Apex. He's low HP. He's just trying to get info, catch someone off guard. The CTs are going to be saving this round, so great round again. Skip forward a little bit there. But as you can see, they're never playing the exact same way, right? Like, they're doing very similar utility and nades and stuff like that, but They're always working different angles in the round and how they can win it. This round we got 2 towards T-Con. Zaiwu going for pup dog control. Roland's not letting them create too much space here. I'd like him to just post up here, right? Like, don't push forward too much past this. Like, just hold this angle, hold this area. You can hear so much around the map that's going on. He actually falls back to hold pup dog. It's interesting. I don't really love it, but if you have a player going for it, then it's fine. See, now we can get caught out though, right? Okay, goes for like a boost over the window there and pup dog. You can try to find a free kill. Kind of more like a gimmick strat, right? Like, it's not... Like, statistically, I wouldn't do this every single round, but if you can catch someone off guard before the hit comes in, it's a great play. See what happens here. They're going for an A hit here. Let's see if he can come out on top. Yeah, see, that's the problem, right? Like, that angle is not great. It's a tiny little window that you can see through. I almost would have rather just had 2 people playing in T-Con, let them out pup dog, and deal with them afterwards. They do a great job of pushing deep into the site and controlling as Z rotates. Sphinx is in a really tough spot here. There's just no way he can get 4. There's plenty of util that they can kind of throw at them. No one's really committing to a fight. They're all just peeking, putting a little bit of damage into them, and playing the numbers game. That's going to be half. A great half for Vitality on the T side. Skip forward a little bit here. Get through some ads. Couple minutes. Alright, getting back to it. Let's see what they do for T side pistol on MOUZ. What happened there? Zaiwu gets a nice pick. Still in a really tough spot here with a 12 HP Rops. They're actually going back towards the A site immediately. Apex just being annoying, trying to get those free picks. Not jiggling too hard to actually fight into a couple different people. Trying to get those quick headshots and has his teammate rotating back in. They go back for the rotate towards B, knowing that Rops was hurt early. I'm sure that they called out where his position was. Really, really tough round for him to win here with off angles and with low HP. Gotta create space as much as possible right away. Let's find the shot. It seems like they don't know he's low HP yet, which is interesting. No chance without a kid here. Does actually get that kill, which is nice, but can't win the round there. Get forward a bit. So here they force out. Let's see how they play this round early. I'm going to assume that they're going to be pushing towards Econ and putting a lot of pressure towards them early. Same nades on both sides, right? A nice jiggle peek by Robs over towards B. You can just see any feet or anyone coming up. A lot of pressure towards Pup Dog, which I'm a little bit surprised about. Sees the feet, backs up. Wow, nice shot by Apex. I bet you Zaiwu and Robs go for some aggression here. I can't imagine they just sit back and let them slow take a site. So he's watching upper. Yep, they're going to start to go for an aggressive play towards B. They hear some A nades come through. This is a perfect timing. They're just telling their team delay, delay, delay. Stall out as long as possible. And they're doing a good job of it. They're gonna come with the flank here. Bomb's still not down, 20 seconds. This is where it gets really awkward. Almost takes his teammate out. But they do a really good job of just playing through that smoke, knowing that that front of Pup Dog is cleared because they went for that push and that like awkward timing for the T's, right? A really good job. Get for a little bit here. Putting some utility early on, knowing that they can't really go for a full rush at the start. That's an interesting spam. Never seen that one yet. Robs really likes to do this jiggle peek, which is nice. Gives you a lot of info. It's really hard for them to actually pick you off. Now Apex has a new angle, so if he sees any feet, he can also just molly it out again, very safely. I do like that B setup, right? They're gonna see feet as they're coming in, and then she's gonna toss the molly. Take those fights, and it should be a lot easier here. Actually just goes for it, which is interesting. Maybe he's gonna buy a little bit of time and reposition after that molly. They changed guns out? Oh no, he's giving him nades. Okay, I was gonna say. Okay, they're swinging out. Apex actually gets caught out there. He should have known where Rops was playing, but might have just actually backed up a little bit too far. They're gonna close that round out. A good crossfire there. They're obviously cycling nades and using them correctly to make it awkward for the T's to ever actually hit the site. Buying more time and kind of forcing the T's to go into a site where they don't really know too much about what's going on for the setup there. Skip through this round. It should be a free win for the CTs. Yep, they kind of just run into their longer angles with the rifles. Get shut down here. Interested to see what they're going to do here. They're giving too much space towards A. Like the CTs, they're just securing T-Con at the start of the round. And Ivy even. Mezzy doesn't know there's someone super close here. Seems sort of aware of it, but not fully. That's a great double up right there because they're not expecting two to be there if there's also one on the site that they just saw. But once again, this round's heavily favoring the CTs early on. Before a little bit, Zaiwu finds that other pick. They have a little bit more manpower to just kind of peek around the map and catch people off guard. Not a whole lot of time for the T's here. And also, they're also not together, which makes it a lot tougher to really hit the site. Flames knows where one is, assumes the other one's either Pup Dog or with him. Peeks out, gets the Pup Dog player, knows the last one's T-Con, and Flames is going to take him out there. Great early stuff for the CTs. Always switching it up though. I'm noticing that that's kind of a big factor in how they're winning all these rounds. They're unpredictable, even with the same utility, right? What is that? A very interesting spawn smoke, but very nice. Going heavy towards A at the start here. There's not really a whole lot of pressure that they're putting, even on like eco rounds towards A. The CTs feel pretty fine just taking this. They're actually going to end A here. No, they're going to try for B. Throwing an A fake. Hopefully hold the rotates. I was going to get run down here. Does actually get one, but drops an op in the meantime. They're pushing right in, not letting them kind of get settled on that plant. They know that they're on an eco, so if they can get right in and kind of take those gunfights before they get settled and start to use that op, it's a really good chance for them to win the round. They're going to get right on the bomb and win that one out too. What happened early on here? Nothing crazy. So 6-12, not looking great, but Vitality's doing a really good job of just switching it up, playing like very solid Counter-Strike, right? Like that's why they're ranked so high. They know Exertion got out here. They must. Hit him off. They hear his steps, or they assuming that he's pushed out here. Flame should not go for this without like some utility. I think he knows that as well. Does actually get one. Should get traded out here. Ah, he gets back to safety. That's crazy. They're kind of caught out, but they're playing together like super well. One v one. Drops in a really good spot here. Although it's pretty likely that he knows that he's there. Okay. Goes for the aim duel right away, but it's cut out. Get forward a little bit. There's a lot of pressure towards this like A T-con area at the start, right? Like if you're controlling that, it's really easy to break open the A site and get into there and win those rounds. Super standard nades. Great nade right there on the CT side. Put some damage back. That's why they should be mauling that if you have it. Don't allow them to start to set up those nades. Flames is doing a really good job of just controlling this T-con area. They have to respect it on the T side as well. See, this is the worst, where you feel like you have no map control. You're like right here, right? Let me just pause it. We have no control of B here, right? There could be someone upper B. There's no control over T-con. Could be someone right here on the CT side. Don't really have control of Ivy. There could be CTs anywhere in here. The only space we have to work is hope that we can work through T-con, hope that we can work all the way through B, right? Or hope that we can work through Ivy as a team, but none of those are like really like things you want to work quickly, right? You want to use nades and kind of work through that, but let's see if it's going to work out here. We're grouping up for an A hit. Not a whole lot of info on what's going to happen this round on the map. "48 seconds too. It's not a whole lot of time. Okay, they're going to try to go through every single spot. So Pup Dog, Ivy, and through T-con. Gets picked off Ivy right away. Okay, so I was doing a great job. Sees the second one. As he picks him off because they're using that crossfire once again. Flames and Apex also doing a crossfire at the front of the site. And that's how they're going to close it out. But that's a really good job from Team Vitality on how to play Train. Like, everything was solid there on how they're playing crossfires, how they're changing it up every round. I hope this like helped you guys learn a little bit of what to look for and how to be like a better team player. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.